Let's just start recording. We'll start talking and we'll see where we edit it afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
A new theme. Stephen is afraid to enter the toilet if someone's in there. Or to knock on the door.
Or to knock on the door.
Yeah.
The door's already open.
The door's already open. He won't walk in and call out.
I think he should just sit there and piss himself.
Yeah, he can just piss himself on the floor. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Wet pants, Steve. Be more like a senior citizen than he already is. You buy some adult diapers.
You imagine if he comes back in with no pants on and he's got an adult diaper. What would you do if he walked through there and he's got no pants on and he's clearly just pissed himself?
Oh my god. Gotta ask him, did he take a shit as well? I need to see what the fuck happened. What do we have to clean up? Like, Jesus.
What have you done in there, man?
Yeah.
Come on. Is he coming?
Are you coming back?
Oh, the lights come on. Hello.
What happened? You all good?
Yeah.
You take a piss?
Yeah.
Shit?
No.
Do you wanna?
Huh?
You want to take a shit?
No.
No?
No.
No.
Really?
So was anyone in there?
You sure? She's pretty small.
How many more questions can I ask before we do your podcast?
Nothing.
Nothing, we've already started.
Yeah.
Okay, how are we going to introduce this?
I don't know.
I haven't thought about this bit. I don't want to be one of those really over-eccentric, hey, welcome to our podcast!
Hey guys, welcome to our podcast. I'm Dean. This is Tom. Wow, I've got Steve over there. Ida. Ooh. Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
It's too over the top.
Yeah, it is a bit. But that might be a cool intro. Just relax and go back to that.
Sup? No, that's too much.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
too weird.
bit too laid off.
How about we start with the name of the podcast instead? Which I guess is... What's the logic in that?
Let's jump straight in.
Cool. Okay. I am going to open Chrome.
Yep.
And I'm going to press this bloody wheel. And I'm going to click spin.
Let's see what the world decides. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Okay. Have you ever seen or read the book The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Dean?
I have partially read the books in school. Went over it for English class. Apart from that, I've just been watching the films and I love Aslan.
You love Aslan.
Yeah.
He's a cute lion. I'm going to say that I watched The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe twice, maybe, over the course of the last 10 years.
Mhm.
And I've never read any of the books. And I know of Aslan, and that's about it. And the witch.
Yeah, I always thought Aslan was amazing, and the witch, who is portrayed by Miss Androgynous, because I don't know her name. I think it's Tilda Swinton.
I have no idea. I just remember thinking she was cute when I was younger.
She was kind of cool for polar bears. Yeah, with that, I was always trying to find my own Narnia. Like a nice escape.
Every wardrobe he sees.
Yeah, every
He jumps to
wardrobe
the back
must
of
be entered. No, it was really cool. Just to escape.
Just to escape.
A proper escape, and when you come back, no time has actually changed.
Yeah, so you just enter a portal of some kind, and you disappear. But no time passes in the real world, so when you come back, nobody asks questions.
What type of world would you like to discover on the other side?
That's a very good question.
Narnia one? Where it's literally like how Narnia is, or...
Like an old-timey sort of Dungeons and Dragons type thing, where
For real.
you're just thrust in the middle of action, and you don't know what's happening, and your DM is just like leading you down a strange path where anything could happen. I guess it's like a medieval
type.
Yeah.
So in this, would you be thrust into action, or do you actually know you're part of like Dungeons and Dragons? You know you're in the element. You'd have to make certain roles in life, and you see what's going to happen.
I would just like to be thrown into it with no sort of precursor for horror. You just arrive there and you're just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And then you sort of have to figure it out for yourself. Because that's kind of what it's like from what I remember in the movie. Like I say, I haven't read the book.
Yeah,
They just walk through the wardrobe and
they
they're
walked
there.
through and people knew who they were or the
They
prophecy.
had
prophecy
there's like a
or-
prophecy or something like that. Is that right, Steve?
yeah, a prophecy.
Yeah, prophecy.
Is it who led them first? In the movies, was it a fawn?
Mr. Tumnus.
Yeah, Mr. Tumnus, and he knows them, and then does he take them to Aslan?
No, he goes to their camp first before.
Okay, so they go to a camp.
Oh yeah, and they have like tea or something. Is that right?
Something like that.
They have
Okay.
a meal of some kind with
Yeah.
a drink.
Hmm. And they get told who they are, and they take up their responsibilities or not.
Yes. I will say one thing though. If I walk through a wardrobe and happen to come across a what is it? I mean, it's essentially just a half man, half
Horse.
Goat.
horse, goat, something.
Goat. I guess a goat.
And he said, "Yes, come to my house for tea." I would be very confused. And probably run in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I would go back in the opposite direction. I mean, unless I'm hungry and he's got decent food, you know what I mean?
I've got ribs.
I got ribs. No, if I was in a Narnia environment, I would be scared of everything instantly. I have no idea if I'm going to survive this, if it's really real. Is this a lucid dream which I've lost control of and I'm still...
Yeah,
watching it.
exactly. Because you've just happened upon this place, and who's to say that you're not just dreaming, or you're not just like
Yeah, a dream you can't
in
wake up
some-
out of.
Yeah, exactly, because you're in some fantasy world all of a sudden that's completely the opposite of what you're used to in
Mhm.
your real life. So, I guess that's another point. Would you actually believe it that it happened?
Yeah.
When you went back to reality, was that all just in your head, or did it actually happen?
Hmm.
Have you got anything that you've taken back? Because that's another thing in the movies, at least. When they get back out of it after they've aged 40 years or whatever,
Exactly, they're back
they're
to...
just back to normal.
And they just have their memories.
Yeah, and they all they have is their memories,
And
they don't have anything else to show for it.
no, I remember from like was it the first film when they came back? The older guy they were staying with during wartime, he sort of knew about it himself. Like he had ventured in there before,
Yes.
so he held on to his memories. He knew about it. So, what was it? They were hiding when they made a mess or something, a cricket ball or something like that.
Yeah.
They hid and then they came out how many years later?
Yeah, exactly. And for them, it was like almost instantaneous, wasn't it? They come back out and that's it. They're just back in the real world.
Yeah. If I had the opportunity to like that, maybe sometime in the future, maybe not like a parallel universe, like our future, and maybe I could enter into my future self just as I am now, to see my future self.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sort of jumping in time through the wardrobe, and when I
Right.
come back, I have all this knowledge of what could be.
And in that scenario, does like making changes in your present affect when you go back to the future?
Yes, I'd say each time maybe not like a super thing, like not on those superhero tales or anti-hero stuff where changing the past might save the future and it continues changing. Maybe something that could benefit me. Maybe one of those events, something cool would be interesting. Like maybe if I actually do this one thing, the butterfly effect can change
And
something.
The whole future changes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or if I take it upon myself to meet this person, I actually cause the future to happen by accident or something like that.
Mm.
So I'd go in there, and I'd go back out, make a change, and I'd go back in, and I'd realise what I just changed. But I'm still the same person,
Yeah.
still know the same people, or friend groups and everything change. So someone who I knew is gone, or there's someone I don't know anymore.
I guess that's another great question. You didn't answer that. Would you like to know what happens in your future? If you could, if somebody said, I can tell you, what happens to you in 20 years' time. Where you are, what you're doing, what job you have, who you're with, who your friends are. Would you actually like to know, or would you just like to let it unfold?
That's a difficult question. I'd like to just let it unfold, but the only thing I'd like to know about is how old I was when I passed on. Maybe
Ooh.
not when. maybe not even the age, because if I find out it's 32,
Yeah.
that's pretty soon, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was, I could find. I'd like to know if I was still with my missus. That's the only thing I'd like to know.
I feel like that's the only thing I would like to know as well.
If I'm still, maybe not in the same situation, I could be homeless, whatever, but if I'm still with that person.
Yes. Yeah. Rather than anything else. I feel the same way. I think, you know, if somebody said, "This is what your future is," I don't think I want to hear any of the details because it kind of ruins it.
Yeah. Even if it was like, if even find out does my name pass down, that would still tell you like,
If you did enough.
yeah,
Yeah,
or did someone remember it? Did I have kids?
Yeah.
And if you didn't have kids, then you're thinking, why? Was it a complication or was it like something else? Did we just break up and stuff? But just finding out if I'm still with that person. What I would like to know in the future, did I make it to Taiwan?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Point.
if I can actually work abroad
Mm.
and make a life out of it, or if I end up crawling back to the UK. I'd like to know that, because maybe I can make a change. That's the only thing I'd like to know.
Make it work. Yeah. In the case that it didn't, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Okay, we kind of veered away from the
none.
language and the
Yeah,
water,
nothing like law type, because you don't know shit apart from the fucking movies.
So in that case, would you like to move on?
Yeah,
to the
let's
next
move on to the next topic. Spin
Let's-
the wheel.
Spin the wheel and see what
See.
appears.
I'm glad it was not that one. Children's TV shows.
Okay, cool. Where do you want to start with this? You seem to have brought up quite a few over the last few days.
Yeah, I did. I brought up the Brumbies.
Yes.
That horse program in Australia.
Yes.
Ah, God, I used to watch that at 6 a.m. before I went to school. Don't
Oh, I
ask
see.
why.
Okay.
This is terrestrial.
I thought you were going to say like on a Saturday then or something.
No. So in my household, I walked to school and we had terrestrial TV before even digital boxes were out. But yeah, money was away. It wasn't like the best. BBC Two, CBBC, Brumbies, 6 a.m. No, let's watch that. Used to watch that leading up to other shows. Then maybe Arthur at something to 8 before I start
Yes.
getting out the house.
I feel like I watched Arthur before school as well.
Mhm.
But my
I
God, man,
don't
what's
know
going
if
for so
it-
long?
I don't know if Arthur played in the afternoon as well, but I used to love Arthur. The whole song is in my head. I'm not gonna sing
Yes.
it now.
Yeah.
But if it played, I could do word for word. I like Arthur. I'm not gonna talk about some other stuff. I don't think it's safe. Like how some older females in there, maybe certain traits of how I
Oh,
like my
God,
women
no.
now. But
Not-
yeah, that's a
not
bit.
those pictures.
No, not those pictures that we found.
Yeah,
No, we're not
yeah.
gonna do that.
Let's not talk about that.
No. Early, I don't know, early shows. Bear in the Big Blue House, like we were just talking about a moment ago. There's
When you said that, all I wanted to say was Clifford the Big Red Dog.
yes, Clifford the Big Red Dog was. I don't think I actually read the books.
I didn't even know there was books.
Yeah.
I only ever saw the TV show.
They made a. I think it was the Magic Key. It had like Biff and Chip, Wilma, and they had the dog Floppy with a magic key. There used to be books of that in school.
Yes, I remember
They
that.
made a show out of it, but I don't know where it went. Actual programs, Sesame Street. Used to watch that. The Hoops. Does anyone know what the Hoops are?
Yes, I feel like have they got like.
Hmm.
Oh god, I'm gonna say this now. They like got like anteater noses or something. Like
No.
they like suck things up within. What the fuck am I on about?
I think you're thinking. The only thing I could think of that was, is it the Wombats?
Yes, that's one.
That's not the Hoops.
That's not the-
That's not the fucking Hoops.
I feel like
They when they on the moon.
When
When the Wombats on the moon.
No, I didn't think they were on the moon.
No,
Am I right?
Wombats on the moon.
I thought they were in like a borough somewhere.
Wombats. Oh my god, not the actual Wombats. I'm saying Wombats, but it might not be a Wombats.
Right.
Wombats TV show. No, I think you're right. Wombat. The Wombles?
I'm thinking of the Wombles, yeah.
The Wombles, sorry, the Wombles. I do remember the Wombles, but no. Hoobs is different. Hoobs was, you got Ivor, Groove, and Tula. Because they're Hoobs. And they're ready to go.
All I could think of, when you were saying the Who...
You don't remember Hubba Hubba?
No.
No.
I could think of the Tweenies.
Tweenies for sure.
Yeah.
Tweenies. Well, a lot of it was when you got ready for school. After you had breakfast or whatever, got ready, and you're watching the rest of the TV shows, maybe close to 8. CBeebies was bloody on. Used to be Fimbles. No? The Fimbles? You know the Fimbles, yeah? With Roly Mole. Favourite character. You know it as well. Roly Mole was cool.
It sounds familiar. I think if you showed me a picture of it, I'd probably understand what it is. But like,
You know, I'll bring that up. But the other one I was thinking of was Big Cook, Little Cook.
oh yeah,
Everyone knew Big Cook, Little Cook, man.
on his magic little spoon.
Yep. Or even Balamori.
Yeah. What's the story?
What's the story in Balamori? I used to watch Noddy when he was still allowed to sleep in Big Ear's bed. Before it got all weird and like everyone's get all like, no, you can't sleep in a stranger's bed. You know, it was normal until you point certain attention to things.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Is that the one where you used to have like it had a plane and stuff? Or am I thinking of like a newer version?
It might be. He had a car,
You had a car, yeah, and
but I don't know if he got the plane in a newer version.
I don't know. I just remember him having like all these different vehicles.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know. But thinking about cars, you ever watch Brum?
I remember Brum,
Yeah.
not the new Brum, old school Brum.
Old school Brum.
Old school Brum.
Yeah. Where he used to go around and annoy people, basically.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a toy car that's come to.
Sentient car.
I'm a sentient car that's come to life. Praise me.
Herbie for kids.
Honestly, Herbie for kids, but he had eyes which are kind of freaky.
Yes.
Like, honestly speaking, if it was at night, you're by yourself and Brum comes through your door, no matter what,
are you
yeah.
thinking? Oh, there's a sentient car here. What's he going to do?
Yeah, as long as I'm on the table, I'm safe before he starts doing some magic. Oh, there's loads of TV shows you watched as a kid. A lot of them had good messages. A lot of them, a lot of children's shows now, I still kind of watch. They say they're aimed towards children, but they're not really.
Yeah.
Some of them have more themes in there that are more to teens and 20s.
Yeah, exactly.
Like stuff, I don't know, like Adventure Time and stuff. Adventure Time.
There's a adult following to that.
Mhm. Yeah.
I guess that's the same with like things like My Little Pony as well. You have Brodies and
Yes.
stuff.
Yes, you do.
Big adult following there.
Uh-huh.
And other recent ones, I feel like what's it called? There's one with Elijah Wood in that was pretty recent.
Elijah Wood.
Yeah, and he was like voicing the main character, and that's got adult themes to it, but it's sort of children's TV show. I think it's called Over the Garden Wall or something like that.
Over the Garden Wall. Okay.
I think so, yeah. And what's the other one that I'm thinking of? I feel like Lana's seen it recently. I can think of what the characters are called and everything, but I can't think of the name of the show.
It is Over the Garden Wall.
Right, yeah.
Mm.
That's pretty good. Oh my god, I cannot think of it. The guy, there's like a guy with a big nose called Grunkle Stan. I can't think of what the show's called.
Grunkle.
Just Google Grunkle Stan. I can't think
Grunkle
of
Stan.
what the show's, but that's another thing that's absolutely fantastic. But it's not really like an adult show. What's it called?
Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls. Yeah.
Yes, I've actually watched a few of them.
You've
Yeah.
watched a few of them,
Mm.
yeah. Because that's like I'm pretty sure that's either on Nick or Cartoon Network or something. I could be wrong.
It is. I think you're right. It's Disney Gravity Falls? No way, it's Disney.
It's Disney. Yes, of course, because she's been watching it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney and Disney XD. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's an excellent show.
Yeah, I like shows like that. I remember, which one was it? I remember People always talk about now Rugrats always having the secret
Yes.
adult jokes in there.
Yes.
Oh man, but I love Rugrats, and I loved Rugrats all grown up when I was younger.
I didn't watch that much of that. I saw a few of them on like Nickelodeon,
Yeah.
but never actually sort of got into it. But Rugrats, the original series, that is fantastic,
hmm
and the games as well. Have you ever played any of the I think it was the N64 era?
I didn't play
games.
any Rugrats on N64, did I? I did play it on PlayStation. There was a Rugrats game on PlayStation. I don't know if it was a racing game or something else.
The thing that
cannot
I'm thinking of
remember.
is like a puzzle adventure type game, like no, a party game. Sorry, there's like
Party
it's a
game.
multiplayer party game, and you get to play as one of the babies, and it's kind of like Mario Party.
Like Mario Party, but Rugrats themed.
Yeah. But I can't think of what it's called. It's like Treasure something. I remember one of the maps being like underwater, and then maybe one in a jungle or something.
Search for Reptar. I think that might be it. What about these?
Something like that.
It was on PlayStation. Rugrats.
I remember the one that I'm thinking of was definitely on N64, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Search for Reptar.
right. Okay.
It's also on PlayStation. I might have played that one. I'm not too
but
sure.
that was great as a kid, at least.
Mhm.
Oh fuck! Any other children's TV shows? In the Night Garden.
In the Night Garden. That
All
had,
those songs
for me-
ingrained in my head.
yeah, for me it had a darker connotation as well,
Yeah.
because towards the end, whenever no little kid pays attention to it, but as an adult watching it, the main character, Iggles Piggles,
Pickle, yeah.
he's by himself sleeping like
On
in
a
the
boat,
ocean.
in the middle
He's
of
just
nowhere.
in the middle of nowhere, and his dreams are the Night Garden.
Yes. So what's he doing? Where's he trying?
It's
to go?
like, did he?
How long?
I almost want like
it's like purgatory.
I almost want a dark past about this. Iggles Piggles' family
Yeah.
were in a war, and they sent him across in the sea to save his life, and he's just in this state.
Slowly, mentally sort of in some random world in his
Yeah,
head. He's
and
gone clinically insane.
maybe almost like a Life of Pi thing,
Yes.
where all the characters who are helping him. You got Upsy Daisy, who's helped him along his way, but she's died at sea, and all these
Ah,
other things. You can just take a dark turn and maybe do like an anime theme with it.
yes.
Can you imagine? That's a dark. Like,
Each of the characters in some way has helped.
one of the plonky things, the one of those flying things, is actually a shark or a seagull. I don't know.
Oh my god,
It
that
ca-
would be incredible. But the thing is, I think you could probably pull it off with the same show, but
Yes.
with a different narrative.
Yes, if you just changed it a bit or did some effects on top.
Yes, you could totally make that work.
Mhm.
All you have to do is replace the voiceover and add a few more sound.
Yeah, and you could even introduce other CBBS shows into it. Maybe where people are dressed up. So you got Thimbles, you got Teletubbies, but like darker version. Maybe you got the gang of Teletubbies where they look really horrific. You know, like the Teletubbies in Left 4 Dead
Yes.
mod.
Yes.
Those after Eagles Pickles, like a Mad Max life. Oh my god.
Oh fuck! I just remembered another CBB show.
Yeah.
It's like Numbers.
Numbers.
I want to say Number File, but that sounds
Number file.
ridiculous.
Numberjacks.
Numberjacks. That's the one.
Numberjacks. What
That's
is
the one. Thank you,
Numberjacks?
Steve. I don't know. It's like they added each other up or something.
Yeah, each other up. Steve, any context here? Numberjacks.
Yeah, it's the same babies.
Yeah, well, we've got that part.
Yeah, what were they? Were they actually numbers? Or?
I think the characters were like
They're
numbers,
all
weren't they?
different personalities.
How many numbers were there? Is it just? Is it not
Can't get into that part.
12, 13.
12 or 13.
12 or 13 or for real? So, are you saying it's not just 1 to 9 and a 0? Or
Yeah.
0 to 9? There's actually 11 as a character. Are you for real? It's not just like.
Right, you gotta look it up. Yeah, that it is a bit weird if it goes over 10. If there's more than 10 different digits.
Like, I could understand if
0
there's
to 9.
if they got some symbols in it, like, oh, divide's coming.
Yeah, but not like, oh, here's number 11.
Yeah, it's like he's number 11. Oh, I'm 9 and 2's child. Do you know what I mean? Or,
Oh no, 7 and 4. They
yeah.
cheated on me.
Here comes 81. He's my great grandkid. Yeah, I got.
Actually 10 numberjacks.
There's
Wow,
10 number
what a
jacks.
surprise.
Are they actually numbers?
0 to 9 are all numbers
Mm.
with their own personalities.
Okay, cool.
Okay, what's...
Did they ever make other numbers? I'm just curious.
Oh god.
Not in that sense.
Oh,
You
look, one's banging too.
Yeah, or almost like what is it called? There's a creepy YouTube which has hidden meanings. Is it don't touch me? I'm scared.
That sounds very familiar.
I
Don't
don't.
touch me, I'm scared. Is it that?
Don't hug me. I'm
Don't
scared.
hug me, I'm
Sorry.
scared. Okay.
Don't hug me. I'm scared. So I can imagine that you're making another number and they're feeling the pain of deforming into the new shapes. That's quite dark, actually. But yeah, don't hug me. I'm scared. Is a ride. You should experience it once, never again.
Oh god. Okay, right. I think we should probably move on to the next.
Yeah, let's move on away from children's shows. Probably more to talk about that another time.
Okay. Spin the wheel.
I'm very specific with this. This is Pepsi or Coca-Cola. Maybe should we talk about the base levels, or do you want to talk about flavors or anything else? What do you want to do?
I was going to introduce flavors as part of this. So,
Go on.
okay. I was thinking when this came up, when Steve added this on for us.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. I quite like Diet Coke, but I really hate Diet Pepsi. But I like the flavor of Pepsi, like normal Pepsi, more than I like normal Coke. And the same for like mix-ins and stuff, because I don't really like cherry Coke. I like cherry Pepsi.
I'm feeling you there. I did have cherry Pepsi the other day. I don't like with Pepsi. I do not mind Pepsi Max, but
Yeah.
there's another low sugar thing. Is that the Diet Pepsi? I can't handle that. I have gotten used to Coke Zero.
Really, I cannot stand Coke Zero unless it's from like Mackie D's or something.
If you've got to give me Diet Coke or Coke Zero, I'm going Coke Zero. I really despise Diet Coke.
Really?
Yeah, and the worst one I've had is the. You ever seen that gold can of Coke? It has no caffeine either.
Yes, that
That
caffeine-free
thing
one.
is
That was
really.
horrible.
Yeah, there's no taste to it.
Yeah, there's no taste to it. It's almost like flat when you open it as well.
Yeah, I'm a weird one with this. So, I like drinking Pepsi, but if I'm having a meal, I prefer Coke. It's a weird fucking
Yes.
thing.
No, I think I actually agree
I don't know
with
what that's about.
you. I think I agree with you on that. If I'm gonna have to drink Coke or Pepsi alone, then I'll choose Pepsi.
Yes.
But if I'm going to a restaurant or something,
Maybe it's because most times at a restaurant you're used to.
you normally have Coke.
You normally have Coke. No
you
one's
normally
really.
offer
No one
Coke.
really pulls you a Pepsi.
And I guess an extension to this question as well is: do you prefer it on tap, or from a bottle, or from a can? Bottle being plastic or glass.
Okay, if you know the restaurant or the place you're going to, you know what you're gonna get. So, I used to love going to a Subway on Baker Street because they mix their Coke flavoring and soda wrong, so it was a sweeter Coke.
Right.
Yes, so that's where I would prefer tap. But can or bottle? I like a bottle.
Yeah, I think I agree.
like a bottle.
So I like Mackie D's Coke
Yes.
over like anywhere else because it just tastes different compared to wherever you
It
go. Like if you go
does.
to Nando's or something,
I
then it tastes different at Mackie
I don't know because it all depends on what ratio they're putting it
D's.
in.
Yeah, exactly.
Because every sort of drink they have in I guess in the McDonald's stuff is Stephen. You can probably confirm this as well. They have the soda, and then they got the flavorings. And if they mix it wrong, you get different flavorings. When it runs out, you got to water it down. If you got it too strong, it's a sweeter drink.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I'm guessing, but I've never tasted the difference between any McDonald's.
Exactly.
The only thing is
Yeah.
you've got ice or not, and then whether it waters it down or not afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the thing, in it. It's like no matter which Mac and D's you go to, it's always the same. So
Yeah.
they obviously have their ratios sort of dialed in across the board. But I can't say that for like Nando's or anything like that. You know, it's sort of hit and miss. You know, depends which one you go to. Depends on like what sort of ratio you're getting, because they just
Yeah.
maybe do it at random. And it's the same for those. You know, when you go to Five Guys or Pizza Hut or somewhere like that, and
Yeah.
they have the there's a
machine.
name for the machines. I can't think. It escapes me off the top of my head, but
Let's just call it a drinks machine
The
or
drinks machine.
this drinks machine dispenser or something like that.
yeah, and them as well. Well, Pizza Hut is Pepsi, so that's wrong off the bat. But the Coke ones at like Five Guys, again, like it doesn't matter where you go, they're always different,
Yes.
and they always have different flavorings as well.
Mhm.
Like you can get cherry, lime, or whatever, or vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla's probably the weirdest one I've had.
Yeah, I
It's
think I
a-
agree. Vanilla is just, again, it's one of those, like, I've had it a couple of times in a bottle, and it's been fine, but I don't think I've ever had it from one of the machines where I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. For me, Pepsi flavorings, cherry Pepsi, and I'm sure there was a ginger one that came out.
I feel like I remember that. Yeah.
There was one that came out. And that was bloody delicious. I
Yes.
think I've had it once. I
I
can't.
feel like ginger Pepsi was a thing.
I think it is a thing. I remember because we're in IT, one of our peeps were talking about. One of our people we look after was talking about it. Because they're doing a contract with it.
Oh yes, I know which one. The thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. Pepsi Max Ginger or Pepsi Ginger. That is
Pepsi
actually really good.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember it. It's like, is that a gold and something can?
It's got
like-
I think it's got a gold band around it.
Right. Okay.
Let's have a look. Yeah, it's some sort of theme, but it's got a bit of gold in it. It's actually really good.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Mhm.
Is it discontinued now? Because they went through this stint of having like multiple different Pepsi Max flavors at one point.
Yeah. Talking about flavors of like Pepsi and Coke, I always found that if I ever went to, let's say, mostly foreign areas, well, we're in London, but any area where it's predominantly another area, like if you go down Edgware Road, a lot of Arabic people there.
Yep.
And you go into their shops, you get all the flavors you can
Yes.
bloody dream of.
Yes,
And you
so
don't
true.
have to find in like a shop that sells American foods, whatever. It's just all in there, one of those shops.
That reminds me actually, where we used to live, and I know that this isn't Coke or Pepsi, but there was a Polish shop,
Mhm.
and they had all these different versions of Sprite in there.
Sprite and Fanta, probably.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there was like blue, like I have no, I think it was like it must have been like blueberry or something like that.
Mhm.
Like, it tasted like sherbet. And it was
Yes.
incredible.
Mhm.
I've never seen it anywhere else other than in Polish shops.
Yeah, so those flavors, that's really cool. The only thing I've had close to those flavors were when you're younger. This is going away from Pepsi and Coca-Cola. You ever had Panda Pops?
Yes.
There's little
Yes,
bottles.
but not in years.
No, they're like gone. They're gone,
Yeah.
or they're somewhere. But
I have not had one of them probably in like 15 years.
mhm.
But I remember having them as a kid.
So many flavors, and you always love that blue raspberry, which doesn't exist. Yeah, but blue raspberry tastes amazing. I love that flavor of blue. Blue's just tasty.
Blue is tasty, yeah.
Yeah.
Slush. What do they normally do? Like slush puppies and stuff like that. They're blue flavored, but I have no idea what blue flavored
No,
is.
I mean
Blue is raspberry.
blue's
It's-
raspberry
it's
and
not like red. You know, raspberries tend to be red.
blue is red. No, I think the blueberries they always call it blue raspberry, but it could just be a weird blueberry flavoring or something.
I think, to be honest, it's probably just food colour.
I remember the old school slush machines with they actually had puppies on the fucking cups. It was a
Yes.
white puppy.
Yes.
I don't know if he was wearing a hat. It was either yellow cup or something else.
I remember seeing these in like Cineworld back in the day.
Yeah. And then now we've got the Tango Ice Blast, which are amazing actually. I can sit through one of those for a whole cinema sitting.
Really,
Mm.
I can destroy one in about 15 minutes.
Yeah. No, I mean like it wouldn't affect me. I don't have to leave my
Oh,
show.
right, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
The problem that I've always found, and we're veering off to sort of PG-13 territory at this point,
Yeah.
is whenever you have one of them, like especially the blue ones, you always end up shitting green.
From my personal experience, I feel I've only had like green shits from Baskins and Robbins.
Really?
Yeah, from their blue flavored crap.
See, it's blue flavored shit.
It's the food coloring.
Yeah, it's the food coloring. It just turns your shit like green or
Yeah.
luminous.
Going back to like Pepsi versus Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, the original.
I found that I don't know. Whenever you go to a cinema, whichever one, it's either Coke or Pepsi.
Yeah.
I found with Pepsi, I don't know what's in it, but I have less of a need to go to a toilet and leave a 2-hour film.
Really?
For me, Coke is the one that runs through it, and I have to.
I don't think I've ever thought about that, to be honest.
Never had.
I'm normally pretty good at holding it though.
I'm rubbish. I got one of those big, like liter ones, and I went to Lord of the Rings. Not a fucking good idea, man. Not a good idea. I was dying. I think I actually used that cup.
It just sounded.
Yeah, I was in the corner anyway, so it's fine. Pepsi versus Coca-Cola. I mean, if you're talking broad range, I do love the Coca-Cola company. What they did, I don't know if they created it or if they just own it. Foo's tea. It's a tea I have in Taiwan. It sells here as well. It's really good.
Well, that's by the Coca-Cola company.
Does Coca-Cola own Fentanyl?
Yes.
They do.
Yeah.
Pepsi owns quite a few things,
Pepsi
but I don't
owns
remember.
so much shit. Well, PepsiCo. They own so much stuff. Couldn't tell you what it is, but I think they own like Quaker Oats and things like that.
You got weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
You'd never think of it. But yeah. Pepsi versus Coca-Cola.
Final answer. I'm going to say Pepsi.
I'm going to say Pepsi. I mean, Pepsi for sure. If you gave me 2 options, I'd choose a Pepsi. Yeah.
Cool. Next topic. Spin the wheel of doom.
Classic. Okay.
Here we go.
So this is a fun topic that I was put in there for jokes.
So the other day, we watched a documentary
By Vice.
by Vice, and that documentary was about warlords in Liberia, or
Yes.
ex-warlords in
This was
Liberia.
filmed in 2012.
Yes.
But,
So a lot has changed since then.
yeah, it showed the bad sides and the good sides. Baddest sides being West Point,
West Point, yes.
which is
That's a
some of the.
hell on earth almost.
That is, yeah. There's no law.
Yeah, it is pretty lawless. You know, you just pay off the cops and that's it.
Yeah, and then the better sides, where there's I feel like it's mainly because of religion.
Yes, I think religion is definitely playing a very big part there,
Yeah,
and that is, I mean, anywhere outside of West Point.
it seems like a godsend.
Yes.
If I was there, I'd fear for my life if I went there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that butt naked guy. He was
General Butt Naked,
General
who's
Butt
now
Naked.
who his real name is Joshua. I will not say his surname because I won't pronounce it
Yeah.
wrong, but
Joshua something.
Evangelist Joshua now.
Yes, and now he's like, I guess the biggest thing to bring from that is how do you forgive somebody who has murdered tens of thousands of people and, you know, eaten children? Like, how
Yes.
do you come back from that? Like, how can
Cannibal,
the people in the church where he was sat look at him
and he's probably killed their family.
and he's probably killed their family or done something to somebody
Cannibal,
they know.
rapist, murderer. But the funny thing about this is, it almost seems like the darkest people there are the ones sorting shit out,
Yes.
which is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like what we've seen about the UN, they said they were pulling out, and that was filmed in 2012, but I did look it up. I think they pulled out in 2018, so I have no idea what Liberia is like now. I'd love for Vice to go back and see what it really is, or anyone just to speak up to see how is Joshua.
What's happened? Yeah, are they still alive? Because that guy was like getting death threats.
He was getting death threats left, right, and centre. When they filmed, he just had a death threat, and then
just had one.
He was going to a church. He's got these. He took in some of his enemies and
some of the child soldiers that were against him.
And his own words, he wants to leave a legacy of a better version of him, which I can understand. But all the fucking shit that went on, like the cannibalism wasn't. It didn't seem like a traditional thing. It seemed like it was because there was no fucking food.
Yeah. And
after the war,
exactly, and that's what they made it out to be like sometimes, because that was the problem. It's like sometimes, we would eat the heart of a innocent child before battle because it would make us immune to bullets.
Yeah, like a war ritual.
And then he was like, but if you eat the leg bits, that's fatty, or the chest part. That's
you'd eat from the torso because it's softer.
Yeah. So which one is it? Are you eating it because you're hungry, or are you eating it because you're going into battle?
Yeah.
Like, because something doesn't add up there. It just seems wrong.
Saying that, from all the shots that were filmed, I did not see any animals.
No, yeah, that's true.
Maybe I did see vegetables, fruit, everything else, but they didn't show any of their livestock for some reason. For some reason, they didn't film it.
And Joshua, but naked, said, after, now I'm a man of God, I don't eat meat anymore either. I don't eat flesh.
Yes, he said, I don't eat flesh.
Yeah. And I mean, sure thing, but like, it just comes back to the, in the eyes of God, in your opinion, you've been redeemed, and now all these people are stood in front of you like you're, the second coming of Christ,
or like a new prophet, a modern day prophet.
You're a modern day prophet, and I mean, surely, we can't do anything because we're here, but like, is the government that corrupt that they're letting these ex-warlords come in as essentially prophets to try and all they're doing in another way is, instead of converting people into child soldiers because of their situation because of the civil war, they're essentially just making a religious war. They're bringing people into a cult, essentially.
Yes.
So, I mean, what's going to happen there when, 5-10 years down the line, when you've got all these people following these ex-warlords who have already been through all this, mass murder, and they rise up again against the government because they've done nothing against it. They've done nothing to stop.
The scariest thing about that was we only saw the people that were in the cities. Joshua was talking about the people who were hidden away in the bush or jungles with weapons. Said people had still had weapons from wartime that are still functional.
Yeah.
And like they said at the end of the Vice, if there was another war, would Joshua and all the old generals come back to actually change things, or would they go back to the old ways?
Would they just revert instantly back to how they were?
Yeah, because this is violence.
They've already built up their army.
Yeah, because they live in violence.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
Exactly.
But yeah, some of the things we heard, even about what the UN was doing, and some of them like in brothels and stuff like that. It's like, what? Was that just them saying that? Was it people pretending to be part of the UN? Like, sometimes you can get, you might hear stories or something, but maybe it could be people posing as UN at certain borders, whatever, money and whatever. Or was it actually UN people doing that?
I mean, it's difficult to tell, and we'll probably never know the answer to that.
No.
But the other side of that is you've got to look at things like Oxfam when they did all that stuff in Haiti.
Yes.
Like, it's quite possible that is happening. But you can never point a finger without having hard evidence.
No, and there never will be evidence, because I don't feel certain areas don't have a voice. Whether it's like the big one we all know about, maybe like sometimes like China. Where certain things are controlled with the media. I mean, in Liberia, it didn't like anyone had, in like West Point, for example, maybe just West Point, it didn't like anyone had proper resources to media.
No, but that's why they use religion.
Yeah. So, I don't know what would happen in those countries. If you're restricted to with your freedom to find out information, to learn knowledge, education, there's not really a hope.
Yeah.
And if people are following blindly like sheep, what can you do to change their minds apart from use another act of violence to earn your respect and make people follow? It's almost like you always have to have an atrocity for a positive consequence later.
Yes. And following up from General Butt Naked, if it wasn't for the things that he did, would he be in the same position that he's in now, where he's followed by all these people? Like, do you think it's because of his redemption that he has a following? Because if he was just some random preacher,
I don't think people would give
wouldn't
two
care.
fucks. I feel like because I think if anyone was seeking answers or help, and they could see this guy is done so much, but he's here now and he's trying to do all these things.
yeah,
So maybe I can change. Like he compared to a normal citizen, he could be classified as the worst of the worst. So maybe there is hope for other people through looking at him.
right, yeah. because
Whether or
it's-
not it's really true he's like that,
yeah,
but
They see
from
his
what
redemption,
they're seeing like, oh, this guy is murdered, raped, and all this.
and he's been accepted as a man of God.
Everyone's following. Maybe I can change too.
Yeah, which
Kinda-
is a scary mindset. I was going to
Yes.
say it's a good mindset, but it's not. It's a scary mindset
Mm-hmm.
because then you get into that's how you create radicalism.
Yeah.
You know, because people just go, I can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no law or control, so people just go, oh well, he can do this, I can do this, and then they start spreading
Yeah.
disinformation.
The
and stuff
negative
that they
thing
just come up
about it
with.
is power.
Yeah,
But that's happened throughout all of history.
exactly. Yeah.
Before-
this is just a modern day.
Before the lineage of like kings and queens, it was all about who's the strongest, who had the army. William the Conqueror, he wasn't a king, he was just a warrior.
Yeah.
Same with like early emperors before it became a lineage thing. People would take over because of the power in the army, and it was just fear and respect after that.
Yeah.
Modern day is like, look at our monarchy. It's just, it's not old kings and queens. It's just through lineage.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
democratic. You know, we don't elect a monarch.
No, we
We elect
just
a prime minister.
yes.
I mean, technically they serve a monarch, right? The queen has total control, but realistically,
Yeah, and
if somebody wanted to rise up against her, then they have no power.
mm,
You know, it would just be a case of they turn around and say, "Oh, look, you know, we need you to defend us," and then it would be up to them to decide.
Yeah.
There's no like imposing power. that would
exactly,
stop
because
anybody
like
from doing that.
I'm only saying this as an example. If the monarchy ended, our country wouldn't be at a standstill. People would be upset, but the government would still be in control.
Exactly. It wouldn't
And
realistically make any difference. I
pe-
mean,
pe-
all it is like a tourism.
Yeah, it's a
tourism thing.
tourism thing, and it goes back to colonization and the Commonwealth, where we looked
Yes.
off. I mean, people are like, yeah, the Queen does a lot. It's like, we have ties with certain countries because of the bad things that happened in the past, which is almost like the Joshua thing again.
Yeah.
He's done something dark in the past, and now something has come after how many years? Maybe not as many years as the monarchy's, like 100, a few. It could be 100 years or stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And things change. People get accustomed to it. You mix and then
And all you have to do is look at modern day America for the biggest example of that.
Yeah.
That's, you know, I don't want to offend anybody here, but like, you've seen a lot in the news and stuff recently about American people telling Native Americans that, you know, to go back to,
to
their
go
country.
back to your own country
Yeah.
when that is actually their land. Everyone from America who is not, I'm not going to say Native American, because American is a term given to the people who knows what early,
What they
let's say early indigenous
yeah.
people from North America continent were called before it got stamped as America. Yeah, everyone who's there apart from them is an immigrant.
Yeah.
Whether brought by force, which slavery or other stories, or like trying to conquer, everyone there is an immigrant.
I mean, technically, we're all immigrants.
Everyone's an immigrant, and everyone's a migrant. Everyone travels. I guess. Yeah, everyone travels in one format or another. It's just that only a certain portion of history is documented.
Yeah.
Hence why people talk about, say Christopher Columbus and whoever that made the Spanish discovered America. It was only discovered because it wasn't documented
It wasn't
in a
documented
certain
before that.
history.
There was
Yeah.
already people living there.
With probably their own history and maybe ways of telling it through maybe certain stories, or I don't know how they did it. But certain histories were told, certain histories weren't. But yeah. That sort of went off topic from Liberia, but I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Let's move on to our probably last topic.
Yeah. That is classic.
Here we go.
So we have Stephen in the corner. He didn't want to pop into the video. He was on the side, but you might have heard him. Quotes that Stevie G says. Stephen is an interesting colleague of ours, and he says a few things. Recently, Tom was asking if Stephen would come round, and Stephen said he'll come round if it rains. Now, we were pondering this for a while. Normally, if it's raining, you wouldn't go out.
Yes.
You wouldn't go out anywhere.
You would stay indoors or, stay at home.
Yeah, stay at home or make other plans. But this got us thinking into that Stephen makes sun checks instead of rain checks.
Yes.
So when I make a rain check, it's because the rain can delay my plans or something. I'm guessing that's where the phrase comes from. But with Stephen, I think he does sun checks.
He looks outside.
If the days,
it's glorious sunshine. I'm staying
it's
inside.
a glorious fucking day. I can't. No, I'm not going outside.
I can't.
I'm
deal
not
with
going
it.
outside today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as somebody with very pale skin, Stephen.
I think he does do sun checks then.
Yeah. I can see the reason why. You would look outside and go, I don't want to go outside because I'm going to get burnt.
Mm.
That would be my thought, at least, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the rain check today, all good. It was raining, so you came. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
came because it was raining. Yeah. That's brilliant. I actually love that.
I guess we should probably
Sign off.
sign off. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice, easy topic to finish on.
Yep. We didn't really introduce ourselves. So I guess signing off.
Yeah, I guess that's part of the magic.
Yeah.